too by chit-chatting about issues that affect our day-to-day life. You stay right here on the Sundown. Join in and be part of the show on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. The Sundown. For the news, views, opinion, debates, and discussions. Listen to who is who talking about issues that affect our country and continent. Only on the Sundown, your eye on South Sudan.
Hello and welcome to the Sundown Show on iRadio with me, Madrama James. Today is Tuesday, the 15th of July 2025. This program comes to you Monday to Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. for comprehensive look at the daily events, the latest information, in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and exciting surprises. To be part of the show, call us on 0911-22986-986 and for us a text message on 0913-986-986. If you can't access the radio, we are also on Facebook, X, YouTube, and more. You can also stream this broadcast live by logging to that website at www.iradio.org. Coming up. President Salva Kiir has directed the newly appointed Chief of Defense Forces to urgently address the issue of ghost names on the army payroll, saying the practice is draining the national resources and demoralizing soldiers on the front line.
I direct you to address with urgency the issue of ghost names on the payroll. This malpractice is draining our resources and demoralizing genuine soldiers who put their lives on the front line.
We will listen to the full speech of the President Salva Kiir in the first hour of the show. A senior police officer, Major General Dr. Stephen Wakosi, is receiving treatment after he was shot and wounded by 5 unidentified individuals at his home in Gudele 2 on Sunday night.
Our general is receiving treatment in Gudele Hospital. The leadership visited him yesterday, led by the Inspector General of Police. However, his situation is improving. He's receiving treatment. That was an unfortunate case.
We will listen to the spokesperson of the National Police Service, Major General James Mande Enoka, on the case and what is the authority doing following the attack on the senior police officer. And meanwhile, we shall also shift our focus in that Magui County, where County Commissioner Pole Pole Benjamin Olum says heavy rains have severely damaged and washed out the main roads leading to the county headquarters.
This road used to be driven in a period of just 35 to 40 minutes, of if it is more 45 minutes to reach an area. But now it is making us 2 hours.
Well, stay tuned for these stories and more coming to you in today's edition of the Sundown program with me, Madrama James. And now, let's take this.
The Basma le Radio Hagiga, I Radio, in Takum fi Junub Sudan.
Welcome back. We begin our first segment with a critical issue affecting the nation, the presence of ghost names in the government payroll, with a particular focus on the South Sudan People's Defense Forces, the SSPDF. Well, President Salva Kiir Mayardit has issued a strong and immediate directives to the newly appointed Chief of Defense Forces, General Dao Aturjong Nyual, to address the issue of ghost names. The President tasked him with transforming the army into a professional, modern and accountable national force, and at the top of the list, eliminating ghost names from the military payroll. According to the head of the state, this move is aimed at ensuring that the country's limited resources benefit real soldiers, those who are serving on the ground, and not fictitious individuals. President Kiir also laid out a clear roadmap for the new army chief, highlighting the need to improve soldiers' welfare, secure reliable foods and fuel supplies, and unifying the army into a force that serves the people in line with the national constitution. Now let's take you to that Bill Farm, where President Salva Kiir made this remark during the official handover ceremony conducted yesterday.
With this handover, I entrust you with the respective responsibility to lead this army with courage, discipline, and loyalty to the Constitution and the people of South Sudan. The SSPDF is not just a military institution, it is a symbol of our sovereignty, a shield of our independence, and a guardian of our national unity. Therefore, your leadership must embody integrity, neutrality, and reform. The time has come to transform the SSPDF into a professional, unified, and modern army. An army that is well trained, well equipped, and rooted in patriotism and discipline. I direct you to address with urgency the issue of ghost names on the payroll. This malpractice is draining our resources and demoralizing genuine soldiers who put their lives on the front line. Let there be no compromise in cleaning the system of ghost names. The welfare of our troops must be our priority. I instruct that only reliable companies be awarded contracts for the timely delivery of foods, fuel, and other essentials. No more delays, no more empty promises. Let me reaffirm once again, the military shall not interfere in political affairs. Any form of interference in politics within the SSPDF ranks will not be tolerated. As Chief of Defense Forces, it is your duty to ensure that this army remains neutral, loyal to the flag, and committed to protecting the state, not individuals or political interests.
President Salva Kiir made these remarks during the official handover ceremony yesterday at Bilfam General Headquarters. Meanwhile, an activist and civil society doubt the new Chief of Defense Forces can fix long-standing issues like ghost names on the army payroll without real reforms. The Center for Peace and Advocacy, also known as CPA, calls for transparent, merit-based recruitment with the clear standards like fitness, education, and integrity. CPA says true reform means building a national army loyal to South Sudan and its constitution, and not to politicians. Now let's listen to Termanyang, who is the executive director of the Center for Peace and Advocacy.
As a Center for Peace and Advocacy, we have expressed our doubts regarding the ability of the newly appointed Chief of Staff Forces, CDF, to effectively address the long-standing issues within the Ministry of Defense and the South Sudanese Army. In particular, the President said the issue of ghost name in the payroll. Civil society highlights that without meaningful institutional reform, the leadership changes alone may not be as ambitious to what to deliver accountability or transparency within the defense sector. In the response to this, President Key directed the new CDF to immediately undertake the comprehensive review and the renaming of all individual lists on the Ministry of Defense payroll. This move aims to identify and eliminate the ghost names and ensure that the public funds are not misappropriately used. As a Center for Peace and Advocacy, we urge also the need for transparency and merit-based recruitment process in the army. This called for all the clear criteria, including the physical fit, education, and qualification age limit, and integrity checks to be restricted apply when the individual are seeking to join the National Army, which is not the case in South Sudan. This issue of eliminating the ghost name will not be easy to remove because due to malpractices, the soldiers are not loyal to the country, they are loyal to individual. That will make institutional reforms difficult, within the Ministry of Defense. We cannot talk about the reform if we do not change the way the army is recruited in the country.
Termanyang talking right there, and he is the Executive Director of the Center for Peace and Advocacy.
You are right where you deserve to be. Your eye on South Sudan.
عزيزي مستمع إذاعة آي راديو، لما تشارك في أي موضوع على الإذاعة أرجوك تفادي تصريحات بتحرض أو بيشجع على الكراهية. إحنا بنشجع نقد بناء وآراء هادفة اللي بتهدف إلى توفير الحلول للمشاكل اللي بتواجه الدولة. إحنا ما دايرين ترويج للشائعات أو المعلومات اللي بتعتبر بأنها شائعة أو أغاويل. إحنا بندعو إلى رسائل السلام والوحدة بين مواطنين جنوب السودان. ده آي راديو، عينك على جنوب السودان.
Indeed, your eye on South Sudan. Let's now have your say on these particular directives and warning. Meanwhile, you can as well take this golden opportunity to write to us via that's our Facebook page, that's iRadio, and drop in your comment about these directives. Couple of you have so far so good shared in your messages right there. We'll get back and go through, but first let me turn my focus to that's the live call. iRadio.
Yes, good evening, Madrama James.
Good evening, Majong Sudan. Again, my first call of the day.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
you have brought up a very good and sensitive question. And this question has affected the whole country because the number of posts that are in the payrolls and those that are on the grounds are not matching. So the president is right, but now his statement without action is no different with those people who are committing this corruption and frauds in the system of the military. For them to begin, for them to eliminate these names, they should conduct investigation first to know the number of ghost names in the system. And this one was done previously by the former Minister of Interior, Alena Yanyalew, when he was the minister, and he was able to inform the public about the payrolls of the police, the number which was really included, and it is not there. Now, after investigation, you will be able to know who are those involved, and from there, they will be held accountable. And if they are not held accountable, then they will continue. But if they are removed, again, they will again try another way to bring them back. Another big issue is the reform, of which the TR was disputing it, but reform is very crucial. Without reform, there will be no any changes in the military leadership. The conventional army will not be in South Sudan, because for us to have a conventional army, we need to first have a criteria of recruiting soldiers. Who should be a soldier? And this is defined according to what the policy of the military has adopted. Let us take example, education should be prioritized. At least someone with primary ed background should be allowed, and then secondary school certificate. This one can help. Now the second one is, who is to be an officer? The officer should range from diploma, degree, masters, and PhD. Now from here, they will have a good army. But now when you look at the system, you don't see the criteria for someone to join the army. Everyone, even if you have 70 years old, you can join. You are 80, you are what? If you are willing, you can join. This one is now the factor that is creating more insecurity for us. And that's why guns are available everywhere in the hands of the civilians. Because the army, the real soldiers who are serving are not being taken care of. Their welfare is not taken care of. They don't get salary on time. They don't have logistics. They don't have mobility. These are the issues that are facing the army. And that's why someone can come and join and later live with his or her guns and they go and sell it to the civilian. Because they will get a good amount of money. Like, let me take example from where I come from. If you sell a gun, you can sell 5 cows to take a gun, rifles. These 5 cows, if you sell them, you can get more than 10 million US pounds. Imagine, and this 10 million can serve you and your family. So let us not make it as a statement, but the president should first direct the chiefs to form a committee that will investigate the names, and then those who are involved must be held accountable, including the senior officers, because no one who is junior can do that. This one is done by the senior officers, and then the junior one now entered to join them. So this is something that needs to be done if they wanted to bring a total change in the military system.
All right. Thank you so much, Mahjong Sudan, for sharing your thought with us. Mahjong Sudan, talk of that 3 things. So one is, of course, a statement with that action that should be really be avoided, and then getting the statistic of the ghost name and then people behind those ghost names. Radio.
Hello.
Emmanuel Panadol.
Marahab. Kes itahoy.
Mawatal.
Salam taikele roale Mahjong Sudan.
Syukran.
Anas Masoto alela. Makaman maita studio.
Syukran.
Kulu ta ayadi. Ana morta dari bitana salfakir bayardi. Bekilma alo kalamu. Yomi ana gai tabi. Kalam ale reis bitana gai kalamu. وبيكلموا في حقيقة لكن أكسون تو يابيغا ما في منو يابي implement كلام اللي رئيس بيكلموا مفروض generals and the senior staffs of the army that they want to implement the laws and the orders given by president or the government of South Sudan. Kanna jafi ghost names mafi jundi ale mokin ba mo ghost net bikutu ina maf wala saus mabagara mo sigiraje de bada mini dubat sab dubat del ya sabab dubat umon ya sabab umon ya bi gibo ahal itomon ismande bita halina jolal mat 5 sena wara lisa fi payroll tanasal high o nasal muawgin kan mafruq payroll bitomon bikun barao lakin hasade bila kabru nasal hasade lisa so system deficit that is built from ina corruption deficit that is built from my military headquarters corruption deficit hina ita taligo hande akid indu mokin tultumia ghost names biga jamini foge na letter mana bijale kafatin bija iyajur in the government yala fide albi kelemude mudo ya implement kalamde reis keli haja amulu investigation de hena ma chief of staff je ukuru director is the chief of staff chief of staff mulu gi safodu ena ligo iya khaide na in the government ogi sabai fogo yani itataligo yani mungkin kanin yani nasal jatu yani ita ma yom wahid ma fi jesh benu suan kulu be iyal kulu fi fero yala nasal jatu ikaki albitha kanin ma biligo gal isim kasa matala kede sukin yani tanin after de ana bigul kida في legal recruitment jesh asa je wala da ko ide al go budu min munu ki gara ini fi Catholic University asa biga fi Nasser go budu be guwa wo disi giada ini min giada le tiara alu fi malakal biga fi aje biga fi Nasser biga jish wala ism wen wala kan wen asa de maliga de recruitment aha anina mina bikeli ngal der profession army de beteri gari beteri ma fi inna magal de ligo profession army
tebi ya mulushi no tabana junub Sudan baru dero tagera
de der talim kanna der kurtume narsa min khayrat fitana tajish yajel telefon indu siyada lagara khayrat fitana tajish kullu yajel telefon indu yani education background ija kan education background ma fi min senior officers fitana mana fi system fitana li sama bag der roadi
shukran jazilan
lina bi gurgale anna der talim telefon number 1 yala badi de rest could be follow lakin kalam fita recruitment legal le anna der illa masabara ija gos membe ma bi intale ni haya wele kan dem ya to general chief of staff ya bi ma fi isim de bigeni nak nas gafol fogo lanu me ya ma fi iya haja illa nas biga gafol beteri gadi
naam
kalam ta reform de ni na bangul case the whole country even all ministries needs to reform ministries kulu dera mulu reform yala defense the reform even the office of the prison needs reform they are the system de kita na gala golejesh gal de reform from our mulu reform what about the country the whole country must be reformed na bisibu kalam vita corruption و lakabat al kisi bele wana seli dakal fi forgiveness ya bikun agiga sa
shukran
hakuma bira koisha hakuma fitana al kisi bikun koi
shukran jazilan de Emmanuel Panadolina fi Juba lo itamin kindum hanina sa tabag der role sharik mana raya bitak fi sifr risa wide walet ninit tisa temenia sita Rais Bugule CDF gala sami bita gos nemde lazim ishilu bara ufoi thagere be dapta bugul shino sharik manina tuwala radio
Madrama James مساء الخير
مساء النور
معك أستاذ مجوجيان
مرحبا أستاذ
تحية لكل أخواني أنا بس داير أديم حاجة بسيطة الكلام اللي قاله أخوي أول بتصل ده جوزيف مش
أول متصل ل كنا مجنون السودان نمرة 2 ده مانويل بانادول
مجنون السودان يا مجنون السودان قال حاجات مهمة جدا أنت عارف طبعا جيش ده ما ده الكلام ما جاي تعليمات ونظام يعني المؤسسة ما بيسيس الجيش كويس يعني خطابات الرئيس لما نقول لما نخاطب الجيش معناه كلام الرئيس بيقول بنفذه هذا الشؤون المالية بتاع الجيش ده ما فوق مراجعين الموضوع بتاع جوزنم ده الرئيس إذا عارف إنه في جوزنم يعني في أسماء وهمية في كشوفات بتاع الجيش مفروض يوجه لنا ده انه وجر الشيء السبب الجديد خلي يوجه الناس الماليه بتاع الجيش ما فينا حسابات بينك يعني فينا في اوديتنج في مراجعين خلي يراجعوا كشوفات بتاع الجيش عشان اسماء وامير يطلع لكن اذا كلام يعني خطاب بتاع الرئيس معناه بينتهي ساكت وهي شغل لما نكون اللجنه ده يعني وصل بموت اول حاجه حتى الخطاب بتاع جر الشيء الجديد طبعا المقعد ده يعني كانوا كده يعني بس لناس معينين بس لكن المشكله يعني ما قاعد يكون فوق تغير لانه المفروض كده مع الريفورم ده انت مع الجيش انت داير جيش مدرب جيش منظم جيش متعلم جيش واقف يعني جيش ده بقدر يعني زي اي جيش الموجود في دوله ثانيه كويس يعني جيش مؤهل جيش له تعيين جيش له قروش يعني هذا البنية الجسمانية بتاع الجيش بس هذا عسكري.
نعم.
المفروض جرى الشيء بيسابق يكلم الميليشيات الحشرية داخل الجيش ده وما سمع شوه الجيش ده ثم الجيش بقى ما جيش. أنت لما دخلك ميليشيات داخل الجيش عقلك وأبو شوق منو ده ما ده مجتمعات كويس. ده ما مثل ما مثل اس بي دي.
نعم أسي يعني أستاذ
ده برضه ما كوربشن.
نعم
الموضوع بتاع ايوه
اي استاذ وسط كلمه بتاع الرئيس قصدهم دي اما بكلي خدمات يوصل لعساكر في فرونت بهذا بتاع جنوبي برضو يعملوا شنو عشان كيف خدمات برضو وصلوا للناس اللي كان مستيق بيقدر يلقى خدمات دي
ما حاجه بيعملوا اذا ناس بالفعل جاي الريفورم ده نظام تغيير جرى شيء بالستاب الجديد ده خليه يوجه بدا اوديتنج في الماليه بتاع الجيش انه راجع كل شباب بتاع الجيش كل الديفيجنات كل بتاع الوحدات كل راجعوا واي جرى ما دير خليه راجعوا هذا كل شباب بتاعه طوال ما عنده مشكله يراجعوا اللي نزل فيه قد يفرق بين المراحل ونازل حيين لان في ناس يعني اسماء يعني عجيب جدا اسماء بتاع جنمايات اسماء بتاع تيران اسماء بتاع ده ما هو جيد ما هو داير سينزل الجيش صح عشان جاي يكون تعيين كويس لانه كل قاعد يشيل بقى وامتى ده المفروض يجيب تعيين للجيش يجيب كارت للجيش يجيب دواء للجيش يعني جيد كان بصرف يعني في حاجات كثير جدا جيش جنوب السودان والله شوف الجيش ده جيش وطني لا انا قاعد اقول انا ما اتكلم عن الجيش الساكت ده انا قاعد اتكلم عن يعني اسفل بنعرفه اسفل بنعرفه ده يوم هذا يا لسه قاعد يسبر البلد ده اما ميليشيا دخلوا في ده ما بعتبره الجيش كان ما موحلين لا مدربين بس انه فاهم ده بس قبل هناك داخل الجيش لكن هو لو ده الريفورم ده صح عشان يقدر يضبط الكوربشن ده عشان اسماء وامير يطلعوا خلي مراجعين بتاع شؤون الماليه بتاع الجيش خليه يوجههم يدوا مع صورتي اي يعني ما في ناجي بس يجمعوا كشوفات كل بتاع الديفيجنات ده خليه يطلعوا فوق وبعدين يطلعوا بالفعل ناس ده وين وناس ده منو في وده منو ما في عشان يقدر يعرف المراحل ده وين وناس رايحين ده وين والعساكر بتاع الناس منو اما باقي الكلورين ده كل شيء
شكرا
هذا بيشوه الجيش عشان كده الجيش بتاعنا جعان لانه ما في رقابه هذا جرى الشيء بيصاب هذا تمام يعني اذا بس بيقول كلام ويسبي ساكت ما في خطوات عمليه ومؤسسه بتاع الجيش ده مؤسسه عملي يعني ما دير ثيوري ما دير نظريات ده ما تعليمات تعليمات نفذ وانتهت
شكرا جزيلا
المفروض جيش ده المفروض كان يابو وري النظام في البلد لكن كل شيء مسائل
شكرا جزيلا. And via our Facebook page we have DL Akone DL بقول thumb up شكرا. We have Ustaz Andrew Ajaki is watching us from Rank County. Then Central Leah is also saying thumb up. We have W. Christopher George is watching us from Yambio, Western Equatoria State. Then we have Piotr Deng is watching us from, yes, he's saying Yellow Radio. May God bless you all there. Thank you. We have Willie Best is also sending for us a thumb up. Keep those messages coming right here. Then we have Garang Ruai. He's saying, hello, my brother. I'm watching you live from that Nimra Tarata here in Chuba. iRadio. Get back to us on 091122986986, and we are focusing on the speech of that the president, where he's directing the new CDF to remove that ghost name. So, what's your take on that? iRadio.
Radio.
Ayua.
Madrama James.
Yes, sir.
Mesa Care.
Mesa Nur.
Mag Lolupai.
Darmin when ya Lolupai.
To custom.
Marhab.
I reform the quest. Naina Jato the rin reform. Lakin reform betala kebia Madrama James. Askeri muderib lewa. Yala kan mutu bigeru ma jena to jena dema deribu har reform bi jacket bekin gesimu da babir be ala talata le iyal to jena de deribu yala reform de bi jacket
tebia molushunu lolupai
ai aja kander ba moto de itar awal dera arofo kena arofo jato nasa le kan sakla de wen esteleta bediri al ja gero SPDF de wen na de naze amulu screening ti ale lisa bagberi sakal gibu fi jes taba naze muderibin kana arofo physical da fitness so yana bade dak asakera ale fide ma bi se jilu jon pi bet galde askeri o ma deribu sobtake yaw na hena bu japi reform de lakin kan reform de morokum mekel be jibu marato ma deribu reform de jakef
haja ji marwa
ai da ja ji bai yaw kan reform der ja kan jon mutu mekel da pao mokafato da fa aya haja bito jibo jol tani deribu jol al warao jatu kutu kemandan ma bi jibo jol fi bet al ma lewa gal bu kutu lewa ma bu kutu jol al ma kit gal bi jibo jana to jatu ma deribu kutu fi mal dan jol da baru sura an askeriya
shukran jazilan. Naam, dea kuna lolopai ina fi Juba fursa lek fi 09 wide waled nin 986. Thank you for joining us on this very particular show of the Sundown, where we bring you current affairs and issues that are really affecting our country. Today we discuss directives from that President Salva Kiir to the newly appointed Chief of Defense Forces to eliminate God's name from that army payroll. What's your take on this move? Drop your comment that's via our Facebook page, and as well call us on 0911-022-986-986. Hi Radio.
Hi Radio, how are you?
No complaint, community advisor.
Long time indeed.
A long time. How is Madingbor?
Madingbor is so very fine and it's very, very clean.
What's your take on the move or directives by President to remove that all the God's name? And that's what he has said clearly to the new Chief of Defense Forces.
Madrama,
yes, sir.
There is a lot of things who are given to appointed leader, either minister or chief of defense post or vice president, to do it, but they fail to do it at the same time. So now, ghost names were developed by generalized, by officers, and it is a part of corruption, whereby you will loot government property in that way, whereby you leave your grandmother, grandfather from that generation to the top, up to the bottom, and you put it as a budget, and you will receive those names from them, and you will collect it to your family to sustain your family. Now, if the government of South Sudan want to snatch or want to drop or want to take away God's name, let them think what is corruption. That is part of corruption. And now, Dana Tujuk as Chief of Defense Force will not do it because there are big generals who is ahead of him, and they're the one doing such a thing. And President Salva Kiir is part of corruption. That is why you see he kicked out the pastor today, and he cannot let him justify himself.
Now the issue is community advisor in a situation where someone like a president will come clearly that community advisor take on this position and these are your role. Why would you again blame the president for appointing citizens of this country who is supposed to deliver service to you?
That is, if he remove me from the position today and he will let me make auditing of what I have done from near than 3 months or 4 months where I'm working, it is the fairness. But now, he takes me out and bring someone again. That person who is new will not sing. Code will come after. Auditing will come after. He will do the same. So that is why South Sudan will not adopt change.
The issue
adopt change in which a person who is kicked out today, it will come and it will be doing everything at the same time. And when I'm giving responsibilities, I can do something which I have given responsibilities, and I will know the borders from this point and another point. So that is why I usually say change will not come to South Sudan, because when the regime of today go and new regime come, the same new regime will not establish the change until that regime is whereby freedom and everything will be coming, because the root of this new regime will be the root of the old regime. That is all about, and thanks you so much.
Now, the concern from some of you is, yes, the president is giving opportunity to each and every South Sudanese, as the constitution says it clearly. Number one. Two, if you know that indeed you have a dignity and you have also integrity and reputation to preserve, why would you again go and embezzle that's public funds, yet there is a trust bestowed upon you by the president? And why would you again go back and blame the person who has given you the chance to serve the country? As we all know, the positions are not really permanent or particularly to one person. It keeps on rotating. Reshufflement within the government offices are something normal. So what's your take? Let's keep the conversation going after this commercial break right here.
The Ministry of Health is conducting a commemoration of African Vaccination Week with a new vaccine introduction of pneumonia vaccine, targeting all children aged between 6 to 14 weeks. Take your child to the nearest vaccination center during the African Vaccination Week or Big Catch-up campaign.
Good morning, Mama Alice.
Good morning, Mama Ladu. Where are you coming from this morning?
I had taken Ladu for pneumonia vaccination at the health center to protect my child against pneumonia and meningitis. He was also vaccinated with other routine immunization vaccines at no cost. Is baby Alice already vaccinated?
Yes, she was vaccinated last month. Does she need to be vaccinated again?
Yes. She needs to be vaccinated with at least 3 doses at 6, 10, and 14 weeks to be fully vaccinated, immunized, and protected against pneumonia.
Really? I just heard from afar that there will be a vaccination campaign during the African Vaccination Week, but I was not keen enough to get the details.
You know, pneumonia vaccine is effective in preventing pneumonia and deaths in infants and young children. This vaccine has just been introduced this year, 2025. A lot of children were not vaccinated. Some even travel without being vaccinated. I wouldn't want to see any child get pneumonia.
I didn't know that pneumonia is very serious, that it can cause meningitis and even death.
Yes. Pneumonia is a life-threatening disease caused by bacteria or viruses. The signs are cough, fever, chills, and shortness of breath, which may be accompanied by chest pain when breathing or coughing. Children who survive may experience long-term effects on lung function and increased risk of respiratory conditions like asthma.
Asthma or lung function complication? Oh, that sounds scary. How can I protect my child from this dangerous disease?
The only way for your child to be safe is when your child and all children in your neighborhood are vaccinated with pneumonia vaccine.
I will do that immediately. Where can I take my child for this vaccine? Hope it is not late.
No, you are not late. Pneumonia vaccine and all the other routine vaccines are available at all government health centers in your areas. Tell your neighbors with children between 6 to 14 weeks to be vaccinated.
I'm glad you told me. I will take my child immediately to the nearest health center for pneumonia vaccination.
Bring your child to the nearest health center and protect them from pneumonia and other vaccine-preventable diseases. This message is brought to you by the National Ministry of Health with support from WHO, UNICEF, and South Sudan Women in Medicine.
This is iRadio. When contributing to a topic on the radio, please avoid statements that may incite or promote hate. We encourage constructive points of views and criticisms that aim at providing solutions to problems facing the country. We do not want rumor mongering or information that is regarded as hearsays. We advocate for messages of peace and unity among the people of South Sudan. This is iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
Welcome back from the commercial break, and let's keep the conversation going right here. And remember, President Kiir's directed that the newly appointed Chief of Defense Forces to eliminate ghost names from the Army payroll. What's your take on this move? Drop your thoughts or comment via that's our Facebook page and call us here live on 0911022986 986. Hi, Radio.
Hello.
There you are.
Khair James.
Misaha Nur.
Mag Deng Santo for wow.
Maraba Deng Santo.
Allah Sumit Kalam bata se Raiz Yaral Saf Fakir Mayadi. تسليم بتاع المكتب لرئيس حي أركان جديد. وفي الناس كلموا قبالي. أنا بس أقول حاجة. الجيش ده دار شغل كتير. أول حاجة مفروض رئيس كان تركز على المعاش على المعاشات. أنا في الناس بس الرد كبير وما منزل معاشات. بقولوا رزايب ليف الرزايب ده ما صار. المفروض انت وصلت السن بتاع المعاش انت بتعمل حاجه في حيث ميجار معاش بتقسمه من المرتب بتاعك لكان ما يوفروا بعد ذاك المدة بتاعك 18 سنه 20 سنه بعد كده انت بتنزلوا معاش وتم يدسروا المستحقات بتاعك بعد ذاك تم تقعد في بيت. ده المفروض تحصل ده كله في العالم. جيش بجيوش بتاع العالم كلهم زي ده. لكن هنا في جنوب السودان هنا ما مرقنا دولة ما سمينا حاجة بين فلان نزلوا معاش. تلقى الزول زار عمره 80 سنة ولسه جرل. تلقى الزول 60 سنة ولسه جرل. المار القانون بتاع المعاشات ده بيطبقوا 200. عشان كده الفساد ما بينتهي والتمرد ظاهر ما بينتهي. لأن دول شالوه من كان في مكتب ماسك مكتب وقال لك انت رزايب لي ما بفكر عشان ما يمشي تمرد لأنه ما هاكر حقوق بتاعه. ده المفروض رئيس حركة جديدة يتركز أكتر حاجة في معاشات. يعمل شنو للناس عساكر والجنود معاشات بتاعهم هيكون كيف. ده المفروض تحصل عشان يكفي مشاكل. أما في زول قبل أستاذ يتحدث ويقول الكرسي بتاع رئيس الحركان ده بتاع الناس معينين. والله أنا متعصب يا أخي أنا وجاز مجوك. لأن أستاذ مجوك ده رجل متعلم والزول مثقف والناس معتمدين عليه شديد. ما في الجيش ده مقعد بتاع واحد بس شغالين بالأكاديمية وبعد شوية بيعينوا رئيس الحي أركان. الرئيس الحي أركان زول بعينه ده قائد العالم لقوات دفاع الجنوب. ما في قائد عالم منه تاني. ده هو بيعين رئيس الحي أركان. ما بيجيبوا برا ما بيجيبوا زي السياسيين. ده عسكري من بداية لكان مع وصل رتبة كبير ده بعدين جاء الرسول سلم الرئيس حير كان الليلة ده زول عسكري من معبد تأسيس تاجية شعبي خلى مدرسة في ثانوية في عويل وماشي النضال ما من الميليشيات. انت لما تتكلم مع استاذ مجوع عن الميليشيات راجع بنفسك بعدك لو ميليشيا تنطقطقه ما كل اي زول ميليشيا.
نعم المهم خالص دين سانتو هي زول طبعا عنده
ما هيصلى قوات هيصلى جيش ان شاء الله.
نعم
لقوا تعاون.
نعم
والجروج ذات الباكل ده وين جروج هسه ما في مرتبات ما في حاجه بنك فاضي. الجروج بتاصل فيه فساد وينه؟ خلي يكون في جروج بعدها يقول ناس تتكلم نحاسب ناس تعمل مجلس محاسبه. شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا. وانا كمان برضو بمعنى من دين سانتو تبيلغا هي زول يندو رايا بتو وما في زول بكلم لا ما تكلم كده ودي يقول كده ده كان رايا بتا أستاذ مجوك نم في ميليشياس وديل كمان طلوع ولا دخول تومون في نهاية بتا بيرول ده بطريقة كده يعني جزء منهم كمان ما وادي لكن ده يوم بلا يامني نبيجا ناكش فيه لكن بس تلوغات بشارك عليك على شارك رايا بتاك وإتاكا أستاذ مجوك وإتاكا دين سانتو وإتاكا جيمس باقين الكل ما تكلم بلي فيلاند بكون بونو زده وداك بونو زده ناسو ما من ديكا كر مخالم اي راديو
يا مدرما
ايوه
معكو أستاذ مجوك.
نعم
تعرف أنا طبعا الزول ده أنا ما أعرف ودي أرجو من دين سانتو ده أي كلام بقول طوالي بعمل فوق يا وقابل كويس يعني هو يا وقابل قاعد يحمي الناس يا أخي ده منبر حر أنت قول رأي بتاعك أنت قبل كده حتى لأنا قلت دين سانتو قال كده أنت أنا قاعد أطلع أسمعنا هنا كوشوق وناس ده ما رأي أنت بطلع رأي بتاعك.
نعم
أنا ما قلت جرب شيء ده يعني
من ميليشيا
ما قلت كده.
نعم
في الجيش ميليشيا أنت ما تفهم عربي. أنا قلت في ميليشيات في الجيش ده كمان ينكروا.
نعم
ما صار.
شكرا.
اللي شرقر ما يعقوله في الجيش أنا داري كان ينظم الجيش الجيش شغله معروف. الإنسان ما يتكلم ساكت إنت تدورين الجيش ولا تدورين الحكومة ولا تدورين شنو أنت.
نعم كل كلام ده ناسمع من دبارة راديو.
Madrama James.
Yes, Joseph.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening.
I name it as a bad day to me. What? I've been in the waiting call since Mahjong, Sudan.
Yeah, Zol.
Yes.
Finally, welcome on board.
Thank you, my brother. South Sudan is a very wonderful country. It is because it is a country that we hear about the army officer talking about the good name in the army. This is very new one and surprised us because army is not like other units. It is begin from the parade, the head count. You call them together at the morning. Every morning there is a report. Every evening there is a report. That's why that one is against what so-called ghost name. You could not find ghost name in the army all over the world because army has a secret system with other sides of the government. Because if you start from, let's say, the past command, which is Okilalari, and then come to Corporal, come to Sergeant, come to all this, they captured their position and they're reporting up to the level of officer, up to the level of battalion, up to the level of brigade, up to the level of division. So if you go there to that guideline, you could not get what so-called ghost name. But here, if people focus about ghost name, we think that people return to talk on the politics because it is a politically word. But it's not there in that system. What we are requesting from them, let them put the army in order because the army is something separate and is making the country well secure. If you have the strong army, you make the country well secure. Right now we have a country that is not well secure because we don't have army in place, and we are trying to talk about here in Juba. We have a huge army in enlisted in what so-called officers without their soldiers. This is supposed to be number one. You must arrange the military into that guideline. Start from that guideline I'm saying. But here, if you have 1,000 officers, high-ranking officers, without their soldiers, what are you doing for them? This is the main point. And later on, you talk about what is so-called both name. We request them to arrange army through the army system, reporting every day as a parade, very clean one, and let them make a biometric system of giving what is so-called ID, military ID card. If somebody who is a good name there has the military ID card, and who come one day to be in parade, all these things are rubbish. They are not supposed to tell us this. They are supposed to tell us information to all these Malaysia from 2005, those who were entered to date, rebel tomorrow and next tomorrow coming a general. This system is supposed to be stopped. This is spoiled army in this country. We know it very well. We have thousands of the recruits from the houses to be general in one day. And this has happened. I could not tell their name, but they know themselves even here in Juba. And then the government knowing this. But later on, when they are assigned the new general or the new chief, they are supposed to give him directive of giving the soldiers welfare, number one. Number two, he is supposed to talk about the reorganization in the division, in the ground there, to make the security supplies in the country.
All right.
There is a threat because of knowing forces there. Forces are there. People are working on charcoal to save their children, put their children in their school. This is a reality. They are supposed to build their school for some division, build their school there for the children of soldiers. But that one is not happening.
All right.
What are they going to do for those money of what those names if they are there?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the interest of time, let Joseph from Munuki be my last caller. But before that, let me go through your messages right here. Achwil is addressing me as Moyo Jacob, of which I'm not. This is Madrama James in the building right here. And Achwil is watching us live from Warabi State. Away from Achwil, Ustasa Andrew Jack writes, I like the way... he's enjoying the show, and the way for real soldiers to get their services is to make general check. Okay, you are talking about that, the supervision right there. Central, yeah, thank you for that, and he's watching us live from Uganda. Thank you for joining us. Then we have Noel Kursuk is saying his speeches are good, but without a 5 action, nothing will truly change. And his 5 action talked about clean the system, and that's tribal politics, build civic, that's an institution. Fourth, protect freedom of his speech. And last one is have a national vision, not just a short-term survival or politics. Every leader and ministry must work toward a united, develop a future. Ustaz Andrew is reacting right here that most of that's our words or the leaders carry that value, but again, implementation. James Taban, I appreciate what our president said yesterday. I'm happy. Thank you. Accord back, he's watching us live, and thank you for sharing your comment with us. West Brown is saying Yellow Eye Radio is watching us from Gudele too. Thank you all for sharing your thought up to here. we have come to the end of our conversation, and remember, we have been taking a look at the directives issued by President Salva Kiir to the newly appointed Chief of Defense Forces to eliminate God's name from the Army payroll. Have been your host, Madrama James.
Thank you for listening to iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
This is iRadio.
The iRadio.
Your eye on South Sudan.
Hello, I am Madrama James. It's 5 o'clock time for iRadio News Headline. A look at what's coming up at 7 o'clock in the news bulletin. The government of Western Equatoria State has approved a post-mortem budget worth 31.8 billion South Sudanese pound for the 2024-2025 fiscal year, the first official spending plan since the formation of the unity government. The Director for Research and Planning in the Ministry of Interior, who survived an attack at his residence in Gudele 2 suburb, expressed sadness over the incident and advised the public to take extra measures on security.